Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Dawson County Board of Commissioners work session. Today is Thursday, May the 20th, 2021. We appreciate those that are in attendance with us, as well as those that are online with us as well. We'll get right into the business. We're not going to do number one, the unfinished business. The sheriff had requested that we take that off indefinitely at the moment as we continue to work through the verbiage for that IGA with the city and the county. And he'll present that as soon as that's finalized. And it's nothing major. It's just getting the verbiage that matches up. So we'll move right into the new business. First up, presentation of department restructure due to new election system and Senate Bill 202, omnibus elections bill. Ms. Glenda was unable to be with us today, so Brad is going to present that in her stead.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, everybody. Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. So I'm here to talk to you tonight about some changes to the Board of Elections and Glenda's office over there. As the chairman said, she couldn't be here tonight. I helped her a little bit with this on the people side of it. So she asked that I present, and I'll try to answer your questions as best as I can. We also have Dale Holland here. He's the Board of Elections Vice Chair, and he'll be able to hopefully answer any questions that I can. This all comes from Senate Bill 202, the Election Integrity Act. I believe one of you had requested just a breakdown of the costs. And what I'm going to talk about tonight is some changes to the people part of it. But in talking with Glenda, the funding should stay the same. She's got enough in her budget, and she'll submit any changes to her budget next fiscal year. And I think she did include in your package the impact and estimated costs. And from what I understand, it's still in the works. So that could change. Kind of outside of my preview, but I just wanted to give you that. So the first order of business is currently there's a deputy registrar that works in the Board of Elections, and under the new bill, that position title would be changed to election coordinator. That in and itself doesn't need approval, but she wanted to let you know that they were changing that. The budget stays the same, job description may change a little bit. And if you look at the input, the information she put in there, she did propose an increase for that position, but that's well within the rate and range that we currently have. And that's in the salary grade of 112. So there's really no change there as far as the budget goes. The next position is the voter services specialist. So that is a change in grade and title. It was previously titled an elections clerk or grade 108. And she's got the numbers there. In speaking with Glenda, she went a little bit higher than what she'll need next fiscal year, just depending on who comes in and what kind of experience they have. But the numbers presented here are still within her budget. So that's a title and grade change. The third position is a title, grade, and FSLA change. It's going from a part-time to a full-time position. Not too many months ago, the board approved her to have a technician, part-time technician working in there. That position is going to be changed to an administrative clerk, full-time, a grade 105. And again, it's going to be right along the lines of, within her budget, what we were paying the technician. And he was kind of, if I remember correctly, on an on-call basis. So whatever we had budgeted for him, we weren't necessarily paying out that full amount. So that's going from the technician position to a full-time administrative assistant position. And I've given her the job descriptions, and everything she and I went over is in accordance with the handbook. and is in with the requirements of Senate Bill 202. She doesn't need any additional funds for this current fiscal year. And as I said before, she'll put it in next year. I just wanted to thank her for going through HR and following the handbook for that. So I'm here to answer any questions. If you have any. She is anxious to get the 2 positions filled. She had somebody leave not too long ago, so she's got 2 available positions. And she's anxious to get those advertised and people hired for them. So hopefully for the next election cycle, everybody will be up to speed.
You said one of them required nothing from the board. The first one you said.
Correct.
So the
Yeah.
second 2 will require some action from the board.
Well, exactly. The first one's just a title change.
Okay.
It's still in a rate and grade. And the other 2, the administrative clerk and the voter services specialist, is a rate and grade change and again, job description, but we worked on it.
So we would need to approve the change to those 2 positions.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep. And like I said, if we've got time in the voting session, she'd like to see if we can move that forward, just so we can get the hiring process going.
Okay. Y'all good with that? Got any questions for Brad?
Great. Thank you.
Okay. Got any questions for Dale? He came all this way.
I thank you for all. I know y'all had a challenge in last year, and I know that board does a lot that nobody sees. So thank you for all the efforts that y'all put in.
Thank you. Earlier I was thanking the chairman for the support that you have given us also. And telling him that there's a lot of county commissions that don't get that support. But you stepped up and saw challenges that we had this year.
Yeah.
And we had more people vote this year than ever in history.
Good.
And I pulled up some numbers earlier. In 2016, we had right at 16,000 registered voters. And I was mentioning to the chairman earlier, we have 23,000 registered voters now. And it's only going to keep going up every year. So we appreciate what you do to support us.
Any other questions, comments? Thanks, Dale. All right, we'll move on to number 2, presentation of FY 2022 Legacy Link contract for nutrition program services. Dawn.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm here this evening to present to you our approval to try to get approval for our FY 2021 Legacy Link contract. This is the same contract that we bring before you every year. We contract with Legacy Link, and they assist us in helping us pay for our meals, management, respite care throughout the year. This contract is basically about the same, maybe a little bit increased. They will give us close to $200,000, and we will match $460,000. We probably will not meet that match and have to spend that much money. I would say those numbers are slightly inflated just because we always want to prepare, because during COVID last year, where we were serving a lot of people at the center, and then our center closed for some time, we had picked up and started serving more seniors at home. So we always want to be prepared. So like I said, that number may be a little bit increased, and we may not spend that much. And as you know, I will bring before you probably 2 or 3 addendums during the year for when they meet, and they're usually able to give us more money if needed. And I just ask for your approval for that. It is the FY 2022 Legacy Link contract, Chairman, and not the FY 2021.
Okay. Questions for Dawn?
I just saw, this is not related to that, but where you're about to get more into the groove of things. Well, that's an old word, but after COVID, and I noticed in the key indicator reports or somewhere that you're people are gonna meet more and more days you're gonna be
We
open?
are going to go. The only thing that we haven't, that we're not, I guess you could say, full blown at this time
Mhm.
is every day of the week.
Yeah,
So starting in June, Monday through Friday, 95%, probably 98% of our folks have received the vaccine. Only very, very few.
really.
And we've opened everything up, our exercise. I think we had 10 people in our art class today. So that has just really, all of our exercise classes are going up. We've opened our gym back up. So yeah, we'll be Monday through Friday. We're planning special events. Last Thursday, they took in Captain D's is closed, but
Mhm.
we called them and they opened up for us. And so some of these seniors have not got to go out to eat, something like that. So we probably took 30 people to Captain D's last Thursday, Wednesday or last Thursday
That's so
for an outing. And then we're planning a cookout next Thursday, a pre-Memorial Day cookout that they're excited about. So yes, we're trying to, and we've got people coming in and doing special programs. Tomorrow they're painting birdhouses and we're just trying to get somewhere back to a normalcy.
coming back to life.
Yes.
Mhm.
Don't any time frame on this?
We'll start the 1st of June,
No, I'm
5 days
talking
a
about
week.
this
The
contract.
legacy link, the contract.
Contract,
We
is
need to
it?
vote on it tonight.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Okay.
You can wait till the next time.
All right,
Yes,
never know. I know how the state does.
yes. That's true. Yeah, you can wait till, yes, sir, you can wait till the next meeting.
Any other questions for Dawn?
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Next up, presentation of request for fire safety fundraiser. Emergency Service Director Danny Thompson. Danny.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. I'm pretty happy about coming before you for this, as you have in your packet there. Just kind of an overview. 2020, as you just mentioned, Commissioner Fawcett, kind of was very different for the old COVID reason. I'm about tired of saying the COVID. But our Fire Safety Education Division really didn't have an opportunity last year to touch our juveniles and our youth in the community. And we really want to be able to focus on that. I've worked with Lieutenant Chris Archer, Karina, and also Laura to put together what we feel is going to be something that we may try to make a tradition if it's very successful. So with that, what you have is the Dawson County Fire and Safety Prevention Division is tasked with ensuring the life safety of all residents and the visitors here. Much as our prevention success comes from our various fire safety programs that engage our youth in the community. This event will allow us to reach our community, provide some fire safety educational tips that will benefit the entire family. We'll also be able to identify those individuals in our community who do not have smoke detectors and then be able to go out and install those. That's a program that we readily offer to our citizens in this community. Really, the purpose of this is we're requesting to be able to accept donations for specifically fire safety education, because we're going to have a Dunkin' tank there because the group decided it was going to be beneficial to have a Dunkin' tank and to have chief officers spend about an hour in this Dunkin' tank. And so, yeah, I see. Don't be nodding your head over there. Yeah. Yeah. So we're going to be charging, probably $5 for 3 tosses to try to dunk a chief officer. So we're not expecting to, be able to buy a ladder truck with this funding. What we're really doing is just looking to collect some money. As you know, in the past, we've been able to do boot drives. We didn't do any boot drives in 2020. I haven't even brought that to you because, we just got the kind of rolling back the state with the governor stuff. That's something, and we usually get 10% back on the Georgia Firefighters Burn Foundation. So again, another opportunity for us to kind of augment some of the fire safety education stuff out there. With that, I'll answer any questions that the board may have.
When is the event?
It's going to be June 5th. So we do want to move it to tonight's
Loosen up
voting
your arm.
session to kind of,
Get your arm loose.
yeah. I look up here and I think I'm pretty safe with the arms up here on this board.
Ooh.
so-
I'll volunteer to sit in the dunk tank.
That's a challenge right there.
I think we vote on it tonight. I'd make a motion. If Commissioner Gaines gets in the tank.
He said he
Oh,
was going to. He just has
He's
volunteered.
volunteering. Yeah,
I'm not
It's rated
getting
right
in
for
it.
kids,
Yep.
isn't it?
yeah.
Well, I got the first hour. So if you
So
got your $5, bring it.
Where's it gonna be?
We're gonna do it at Station 2. And it's our goal, if this event is successful at Station 2, in the fall, we'd like to go to Station 8. So that way we have
Oh,
one on kind of each side of the community.
yes, yes, yes.
There you go.
What was it? 2 years ago, Chairman Thurman and I were at Leap for Literacy, and I think we raised $600 for us to
$700
jump, $700 for us to jump in. So that'll be a challenge. You get $700, then we'll get in that thing.
I think I'm still the reigning celebrity chef. I mean, all that say.
I don't hear Billy agreeing to that.
I've agreed to most anything.
I'll do it. Twice.
Did you say twice?
Yeah, being
Are you taking note? I'm taking notes. Are you? He said he would do this twice. Do it
Twice.
twice. Yes.
I'll sign
It's
them up.
recorded.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
And I think
okay.
we've got it recorded, so.
It is recorded. Any other questions for Chief Thompson on that item? All right, we'll move on to number 4. Presentation of request for funding of fire hydrants. Danny.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Etowah Water has reached out. They're expanding and upgrading water service in the Price Road, Henry Grady area. So they're increasing that area. We sat down with Brooke Anderson, looking at the current hydrants that we have in the area on some of the Moss Overlook. We got some that are on the side streets, but not really on the main road there. So with that, we are requesting funding. We've identified 7 areas for new hydrants to be listed in that area. As you very well know, water is a very valuable source for us for doing a part of our job. And water impacts your ISO rating at it's 40% of your ISO evaluation. So as we continue to grow in this county, water is one thing that we, the fire department, don't have a lot of control over. So with that, the price per hydrant worked out to be $25,760.
Total.
All right,
No,
for total.
that's total for all 7 hydrants. And they do have another big expansion that will be coming to the board probably in the fall.
Questions for Danny?
Question.
Vicky,
for
what's
Ms. Vic- Yeah, go ahead.
How are we gonna pay for all this? Okay. I think we used,
Did we have any money left over? when We sold that piece of property
Yeah,
for
that's-
fire service?
I don't think so.
I know we used some for air packs. and We used some for hydrants.
Yeah, so when we sold that piece of
Yeah.
property, the land, I think 100,000 went toward Intergov. I
Yeah.
think we had 78,000 that was split 2 ways. We had 40,000 for air packs, another 38,000 for hydrants. Because you don't know, I worked with the county manager in 2020. Etowah did some upgrades on Hughes Towers. So we added a good many hydrants up and down Hughes Towers that took up most of that money, but we had the money there. Didn't have to come before you because that was what it was already approved for.
Other questions? Thank you, sir. Next up, presentation, Fire Station 2 sanitary sewer easement request for emergency repair. Public Works Director Denise Farr. Denise.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. As the board's aware, Fire Station number 2 has been experiencing several problems due to a failing septic system. And as a remedy to that system, the board has approved connection to a newly proposed sanitary sewer line that will be running on the north side of State Route 53. In order for that line to be installed, Etowah Water and Sewer is requesting a 35-foot permanent easement as well as a 20-foot temporary construction easement. Now, the construction easement will expire once the project is complete and the county has approved. And Public Works is requesting that the board approve that request from Etowah.
Questions for Ms. Farr?
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Next up, we have presentation of application for parade and assembly. Dawson County News says Taste of Dawson, but I think that's a new name that has been added to that. Planning and Development Director Jameson Kinley, you gonna start that off? And he's got some backup here from the paper.
Thank you, Chairman. The Taste of Dawson is the first event of its kind and will be hosted by the Dawson County News at Veterans Park on June 12th from 11 to 4 with approximately 200 to 400 attendees expected. They're planning on having 5 to 10 self-reliant food trucks and 15 to 30 restaurant vendors from the Dawson County, North Georgia area. Parking will remain the same at the park. It will basically be just around the field, the football field where the food truck vendors are going to be located. The only, with the exception of environmental health, which is pending, and we're currently in talks with them, all the other approvals have been obtained for this event. I will entertain any questions.
Questions from the board for Jameson?
Do we have to have environmental help to sign off?
They
What
will.
is it about? Is it about the food trucks?
It's
or
about the
something?
food trucks.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. Anytime that there's a food
Okay.
event.
Come on
taking-
up here and tell them what you're trying to do.
It's amazing. In order to get the media here, all we gotta do is put them on the agenda.
Yes, sir. We're happy to come. Thank you guys for having us. Yeah, so just to give you a brief overview, we just want to have a food festival. We're starting small with this and we want to grow it and just see what we can do with it. Yeah, so I don't really have a whole lot to add to what Jameson said, but we're working with the health department. We've talked to the fire marshal's office. We're hoping it's going to be a really good time.
But environmental health, they can be awfully,
It's just part of the process.
Particular.
And they'll get the approval. It's just that they have some additional questions that need to be answered, and those should be done before it goes to vote.
So we're already working with them.
you're not
with that.
anticipating any problems?
No, we're not.
They have to sign off, just like, I guess, like Moonshine Festival on the food trucks
Yep.
in the cities.
Yeah.
I know,
They'll
but I
sign
mean, it
off.
can be tedious.
Yeah,
Can
and they'll
be
sign off
tedious.
that day of, and they're very strict.
Yes.
From what we've heard.
They are.
They
And
come
we're
out
letting
and
all of our vendors know beforehand how strict they are.
Okay.
We're gonna hold them to that standard and it's just gonna be. how
Well,
it
they
You
is.
have
let-
to check out each food truck.
Yes.
Because both the fire marshal and the environmental health will inspect that day, but as they set up, after they set up, they'll inspect each individual vendor, to make sure that everything is right before the event.
Yeah, if they don't pass, then they're not allowed to participate.
Yeah, they have to leave.
What time does it start?
It's gonna start at 11
At what?
11 a.m.
11.
what's the new name now?
Flavors of North Georgia.
Flavors of North Georgia.
Yep.
Okay.
And so people come and they just buy from the individual.
Yeah, and stuff is not gonna be priced how normal food truck food is priced. It's very expensive. It's gonna be cheaper. And there's going to be like a voting system that they've got in place.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it'll be a vote that. who's
Yeah,
got
yeah. So hopefully it'll be an event every year that will give out, awards to the vendors that come in the food trucks.
That's-
Yeah.
Don't use
Is this
words.
also known as pigging out?
Yes, yeah. that will
Okay.
happen.
It is time you try them all.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the official taste tester. If I volunteer for the dunk tank, I need to volunteer for that.
I don't know if you do that before, then you might not be able to get in the duck tank.
That's right.
Any other questions?
Question for Matt. Yes. Weekend in June, are y'all pretty busy? Ain't nothing's happening on June the 12th at the park?
At Veterans Park that day, we blocked everything off. We're completely open.
I know that's
Except for the
usually
pool.
busy in the summer.
The pool will be open in full, but it's on the other end of the park.
The only thing I've noticed, like Moonshine Festival, after some of these food trucks leave, they leave a tremendous amount of like grease and stuff that gets, do we have concerns that's gonna get on the track or anything? We just need to make sure we mitigate that, so
That
we
is a-
don't.
That is a good point, and one that has not been thought of, but we will address.
Yeah,
That's a
let's-
great
Oh,
point.
yeah, around the city, they poured them out.
Yeah, we need to make sure that,
Okay.
and in your
We've-
contracts, you might make sure that they pay a fee or somebody
We've
cleans that
written it
stuff.
into the
up.
contracts with our vendors that they're gonna take, and they're gonna be totally self-reliant. So they're gonna be taking everything away with them
Okay.
that they brought in.
Yeah, and we need something about making sure they don't just, there's grease pits around underneath those trucks sometimes.
Other questions? Thank y'all. Next up, presentation of comprehensive plan update. Planning and Development Director Jameson Kinley. James,
He didn't say that.
Did we,
June.
June 12th?
fourth one. Is it 12?
June 12th. So
12th.
there's a voting session between now
Yeah.
and the actual event.
Does that give them enough time to market it and everything?
If we get it approved as soon
I'm fine to move it to the night. That gives them more of an opportunity to let the community know about it since it's a community event.
I'm good with that, moving forward.
I'm fine.
Okay,
Got any
moving
problem.
forward. All right.
Just pending Matt gets what he needs.
All right, James.
Thank you, Chairman. Well, this board has, as of last year, we added 2 new zoning, residential zoning classifications. We issued another commercial zoning classification. So with that, adding those new classifications, we need to put those somewhere in our comprehensive plan. So what we are asking to do is to move forward with a comprehensive plan update. DCA requires us to come before the board and officially start that. But since the board has already shown interest that we need to go ahead and start that, we actually had our first comprehensive, we had a meeting with some of the local stakeholders on Wednesday. Well, actually it was yesterday. We had a lot of the local business owners. We were represented residents, retailers, realtors, engineers. The chamber was there. We had several Dawson County employees and several large landowners. I say that to say that we have stakeholders in this community that want to see this comprehensive plan being updated in a way that better suits Dawson County. As you know, since 2018 and since we updated it last, we have seen a very large uptick in growth in the county, and we want to make sure that that growth is planned. We presented yesterday our vision and explained how these stakeholders could have immediate on the ground influence in how we move forward with this document. Robbie, he's here. He can explain a little more as to the timeline that we see that this would come before the board, but what we're asking for this board to do is open it up to a public hearing as per the requirements of DCA and move forward with a vote so we can get this process and hit the ground running. I'll entertain any questions.
Questions for Jameson? You're asking for a public hearing on June 3rd.
Did you say you had some kind of meeting yesterday? What did you say? You named all these stakeholders. What did you?
It was a comprehensive plan. So basically we invited the long range planning committee along with some other people that over the last couple of years have shown interest and they said, well, hey, you keep talking about this comprehensive plan and how we're going to update it. I want to be involved in it. So we invited all those to the table and we kind of gave them the really early rough draft of the comprehensive plan so they can go ahead and start receiving feedback from it.
And where was this?
This was here at the courthouse in our admin training room. As we move forward through the schedule that you have in your packets, we'll be opening it up to everybody. But those were the group of people that have shown a lot of interest over the last couple of years, and they keep checking back every couple of months. Hey, when's this coming?
Excellent.
And so we're finally through with all of our updates to our land use resolution. Robbie has hit the ground running this year since he's been hired, and we're ready to move forward with it.
Any other questions for James? This is good.
Yeah, I like the proactive approach instead of being, I think the last time we did the comp plan, we were way behind the last time it was updated. So this is good.
I'm just glad people are interested on the front end instead of the back end when it's approved and then everybody goes crazy. And so I'm glad to hear, that's proactive. That's a big word, but
Exactly. what we're trying to do.
I'm glad to see this.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So wonderful.
Other questions? Thank you, Jameson. Next up, we have presentation of board appointments. Mandy, Joint Development Authority, Mandy Power replacing Christy Moore. That term will be June 2021 through December 2022. And Brian Trapnell, reappointment term June 2021 through December 2024. I'll make those recommendations to you to fill those 2 positions. Any questions? All right, we'll move that to the voting session, not this time, but the next voting session. All right. County Manager report, David.
Thank you, Chairman. Good afternoon, Commissioners. Your key indicator reports for the month of April, as well as a list of the agreements for the contracts are in your packets. I did want to bring up one point under the human resources section of that, under position control. The number that you had in there was off. So we revised that and it's actually 602, which is also identified on the graph as well. And that will be changed and modified in the next one. This is also EMS week. With that, I'd like to thank our men and women in EMS for their service. And so if you run into an EMS person, be sure and thank them for their services. And really, that was my short report for the night.
Questions of the county manager?
Thank you.
Thank you, David. County attorney report. Okay, and reference to litigation.
Surprise.
All right.
Surprise.
All right, then, that is all that we have in our work session. I want to thank you for your attendance. Thank those that are with us online as well. We'll take about a 5 or 6 minute break and we'll be back with our voting session. Thank you.